A nurse terrified for her life. Dozens of police reports, mysterious phone calls, and then found dead, bound, drugged, and dumped behind a house. The police said she tied herself up and ended her own life. But nothing about this case makes sense. This is the story of Cindy James, a woman whose 7-year nightmare ended in one of the most chilling and controversial deaths in Canadian history. Who was stalking Cindy James? Or was the real enemy inside her own mind? Cindy James was born in 1944, a bright, kind-hearted nurse in Vancouver, Canada. Friends described her as intelligent, compassionate, and deeply caring toward her patients. After years in a quiet marriage to a psychiatrist, Dr. Roy Makepeace, Cindy decided to separate in 1982. It should have been a new beginning, but it became the start of her descent into fear. Not long after her separation, Cindy started receiving strange phone calls, whispers, threats, and silence on the other end. She told friends she was being followed by a man in a black car. Then came letters, cut-out words pasted from magazines filled with violent threats. At first, the police took her seriously, but when they couldn't find any solid evidence, they began to doubt her. Over the next 7 years, Cindy reported more than 100 incidents: vandalism, phone tampering, and violent assaults. One night, her porch light was shattered and her phone line was cut. Another time, she came home to find her beloved dog dead, strangled with a rope. Cindy was found unconscious in her own home, with a nylon stocking tied around her neck. She claimed she had been attacked by an unknown intruder, but police began to suspect otherwise, that she was staging her own attacks. As the years went by, Cindy became consumed by fear. She moved houses repeatedly, changed her phone number, even changed her last name to try and escape whoever was tormenting her. She also hired private investigators. One of them, Ozzy Caban, personally witnessed the aftermath of attacks and believed she was telling the truth. He described how Cindy was found in her home, bloodied, bound, and barely breathing. Yet there was no sign of forced entry. Whoever it was, they always seemed one step ahead. In 1985, police found Cindy lying in a ditch, hands and feet bound, a nylon stocking around her neck, and a note pinned to her body. "Now you are dead, bitch." She couldn't have tied herself up that tightly, and yet investigators still suspected self-harm. Psychiatrists were divided. Some believed she had dissociative identity disorder. Others thought she was suffering from severe post-traumatic stress. But every time she was hospitalized, the harassment continued. Even when she was under medical supervision, phone calls would come to her hospital room. There was never anyone on the line. By May 1989, Cindy seemed exhausted but hopeful. She told friends she finally felt ready to put the past behind her. On May 25th, she went to the bank, withdrew $200, and vanished. 2 weeks later, a man mowing his lawn found her body behind an abandoned house, just blocks from where she disappeared. Cindy's hands and feet were bound behind her back with rope. She had been injected with morphine and other sedatives, but there were no fingerprints, no signs of struggle, and no weapon. The coroner ruled the death not suspicious. 3 main theories have haunted this case for decades. Some believe Cindy was genuinely being targeted, possibly by someone close to her, maybe even her ex-husband. Dr. Makepeace denied any involvement, but Cindy's private investigator claims she often feared him. Others believe Cindy's trauma spiraled into delusion, that she unknowingly created the very danger she feared. It's a terrifying thought, that her own mind became her stalker. And then, the most chilling theory of all, that someone powerful was behind her death, and the truth was buried to protect them. Cindy James's family never accepted the idea of suicide. Her sister said, "Cindy was terrified of dying. She wanted help, not death." To this day, her case remains one of Canada's most disturbing mysteries. Was she murdered by a stalker that police ignored? Was she crying out for help in the only way she knew? Or was this a tragedy born from trauma and disbelief? 30 years later, one thing is certain. Someone knew the truth about Cindy James, and they never spoke. What's your theory? Murder, madness, or cover-up? The mystery of Cindy James still waits for answers.